Look, I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show.
Later, you know what it is. Hey, ham solo. It's time, baby. Low. Let's turn how we do. Hey.
They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you
Man, I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a whip. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you on red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you red fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blizzard. Got you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today.
Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make you bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go.
Yo, oh shit. I forgot I changed shirts. Every time I change shirts, it just ruins my hair. It just ruins it every single time. It's super annoying. But good morning, everybody. How you guys doing today? Hope everybody's having a pretty good early way to start their day. Man, so I have a developer coming on today. I got a developer that's going to be coming to join. I am excited. He'll be joining us here in about 20 minutes, and he'll be hanging tight with us for hopefully about an hour. And then honestly, I'll have to dip out as well because I'll have to take my daughter to school because she has a early she actually has a late start to school today because it snowed like a foot and a half yesterday. So they just have a little bit of a late start. They're shoveling snow and shit like that for her to get to be able to go to school. And I got to take her a little bit later than I usually do. So I'm going to have to cut the show a little bit shorter than I usually do. But at the same time, I have a developer with me, and I'm not expecting him to want to stay on for no 3 hours anyways. And I think it's respectful to the developer for me to stop the show after I get done doing the interview, so it doesn't end up being a 4-hour show with his piece right at the beginning. And I don't know. I think it just makes it easier to access it. Or maybe I should just start recording it and make another YouTube channel where I could just put specifically recorded content on. That's something I've been considering about. Let me know if I made specific video content that was not live streamed, just like short clips or, anywhere between, 5 minutes to an hour long clip, right? Would you be willing to subscribe to another channel if I did another channel just for clip's sake, just for only clips? Let me know. I'd be more than happy to start up another channel just to do that. I just don't want to waste my time. I might do that regardless, but I don't know. I'd like a little bit of feedback. That'd be helpful. But anyways, Ray Chi, shout out. Good morning to you, brother. Happy that you're usually one of the first people to walk in the door. So I really appreciate you sliding through. He says, scared of what will happen with Avowed. Some who played said the consequences of your actions aren't that meaningful. Ooh, that's interesting. It's interesting, but I need to know more, right? I need more context than not that meaningful, right? And did this person beat the game? And then he says, and then Rachie also says, so no romance and no consequences, but hey, at least you can use a magical musket. A magical musket while using a wand at the same time, or a sword at the same time with a wand, or a sword with a gun. Like, yo, I'm excited to give it a try. I'm not letting anybody's last second, soppy frustration get under my skin today. I'm doing this show with y'all. I'm taking my daughter to school, and then about an hour to an hour and a half later, you will see me online playing that goddamn game. You will see me playing Avowed, right? I'm just saying. Morning, Jagger Blaze Alex. Good to see you. Happy to have you here this morning. Hopefully you've seen the title today. It reads, that got a developer interview going on here in just a little bit. He'll be joining us probably within the next 20 minutes or so. I did speak with him just this morning, just a little bit ago. He seems to be ready to hop through. We got some pretty exciting stuff to talk about. He's working. He's got a game that he's currently working on right now that we should actually check that out real quick, right? We should check that out. We might as well, right? We're waiting on him to get here, and we might as well just go on ahead and check out his game. All right. It's called Occult Chamber. Occult Chambers, excuse me, plural. Let me look it up real quick. It's coming. It's supposed to be coming to Steam, Xbox Series, and PlayStation. Hopefully that all works out for him, because that's a lot of work to do, especially if you're an indie developer. But hey, I don't know everything that they go through. I don't know what the certification process is all about and whatnot. Maybe we can ask him about that. We'll have him here. If you think that's a good idea, hit that like button. If you think that's a good idea, hit that like button. If you guys want to ask questions and stuff like that too, keep in mind you can ask questions as well. Just please put question before you ask it so I can tell the questions from just general comments. All right. So just put question, colon, and then, ask away. Of course, after we get done doing introductions and everything. But I definitely wanted to start out by being here and greet you guys first, be here first to talk to you guys, kind of, warm up the seat a little bit. So when he comes through, it's not just cold and all of a sudden, pow, we're online and, expectations high and everything like that. Just come through, kick it, relax. The show's already rolling start. You know what it is. Daytona, doing the damn thing. We're going to be good to go. But anyways, like I said, I want you guys to see this game. So let's go check it out. Oh yeah, let me throw that on just to put that in. Oh wait, no, that's not that. There we go. All right, so let's see. Yeah, Occult Chambers. And this is the trailer to it. So let me go on ahead and restart that. But also let me go on ahead and turn on the audio so you guys can hear it. So let's go.
The burden of an ancient pact lies on our shoulders. A burden no father desires to pass on. Drew, my son, we are the guardians of a gate. A gate that bridges this reality to its undoing. We are the last bastion, the ones who contain these nightmares, and make sure the fireflies keep glowing. The fireflies grow brighter when there is darkness. A darkness which is not present in you.
Yeah. No, we are not rewatching this Data Blaze. I'm sorry, Data Blaze, we are not doing that. No, this is a game that's coming out by the indie dev that's coming on the show today. This is just like his the trailer to his game. figured we just learn a little bit about him before he hopped on the show,
Don't
right?
follow the
Let's get
trail.
get an idea, get a feel of for who this person is together. So then when he comes through, maybe you'll have questions. Maybe it'll help me better understand what kind of questions to ask said person. This is the website. Let me go back to my other scene because I don't like the way that looks. All right, so this is the website to the developers website. I guess it's called bornmonkey.com. That's the name of their development team. It's Born Monkey. Okay, BORN, obviously BORNMONKIE, Born Monkey. Okay, right? This game, Occult Chambers, that he's working on, is an action horror game. Looks pretty interesting. Let's look a little bit more into it to see what we can find out, if we can find out anything. It says Occult Chambers is a third-person action horror game set in India, where players follow protagonist Dhruv on his quest to find his missing father. Along the way, he uncovers a sinister world of occult rituals and fantastical creatures from deep Indian mythology. So that's kind of interesting. I'm not even gonna front. Like, how many times do we get Indian games based off in India? So I mean, there's been a few games that I played that were like Indian based. I forgot there was this one. There's this one game that was pretty hard, actually. I'm not talking about that cooking game on Game Pass. There was this one game that Loke put me on that was like an Indian based game, and it was kind of hot. Man, dang, I'm gonna have to ask him about that. I'm gonna ask him about that tomorrow. He's gonna know exactly what I'm talking about when I ask him about that. But anyways, Faded Blade says Born Monkey starting to make me feel like, oh, come on, man. Like Frieza. Okay, relax. It's not like that, bro. Oh man. It says so the frequently asked questions for this team is Born Monkey a AAA studio? Born Monkey is an indie video game studio that aims to produce games of AAA quality. While we are not a AAA studio, we are dedicated to creating high quality, engaging experiences for our players. Okay? The next question is, do you make end-to-end development? If you have a game idea and are looking for help in turning it into reality, you've come to the right place. Whether you're looking for a simple casual game or more complex hardcore experience, we have the skills and expertise to make it happen. So more or less talking about on their development side. To get started, visit our service page and then fill out the business form. We can't wait to hear about your game idea and work with you to bring it to life. It says, when will Occult Chambers come out? The date is undecided, but you can be part of the dev process by participating in our private public playtest, which I hope I get the opportunity to do that, because that sounds amazing. It says, join our Discord community today, which you can join the Discord by at their main at their website. If you just click on, go to bornmonkey.com, there's a join Discord now button. And then, it says, how do I join Born Monkey? To apply for jobs at Born Monkey, please complete the form that is available in the careers page, which is right here. It's at the very bottom of the page, like usual, most websites and whatnot. And at the very bottom, there's careers, services, news doesn't have anything quite yet. Cohorts and press kit and contact us aren't there quite yet. So they're obviously still developing not only the game but themselves, which isn't a bad thing. So hopefully what they have coming comes to fruition and it ends up being good. But here in about 10 minutes, bro is supposed to be coming through, and I'm pretty excited to talk to him. Hopefully you guys are excited too. Like I said, if you guys have any questions to ask the developer at all when he rolls in here, please make sure you put that in the chat and put question. Just put the word question first. Put the word question first so I know that you're trying to ask a question. Don't just say random stuff, or else I'm going to think it's just a random comment and I might not read it. Okay? So just throwing that out there in case you guys choose to be part of the conversation other than just listening, right? I am more than happy to read out questions as long as it's appropriate, right? I will vet the questions a little bit. I will look at it before I read it, all right? So anyways, just to kill some time, I gotta talk about that PlayStation Showcase real quick. I gave it yesterday with Matt here. When we watched it, I gave it a 7 out of 10, right? But this happens to me every time. Every time I see something, I get really excited about it. And then, after a little bit of research, I've been telling myself, I need to start giving myself at least an hour after a showcase before I rate it. Let me tell you why. After I got done, because I assume there's a lot of people that will hear me say that and think, man, he's just flip-flopping on what he thought, right? But what actually happened was I watched the showcase and I'm like, yo, this is dope, right? And then and you guys even, some of you guys were here yesterday when I was doing it. After the show went off, I gave it a score, right? I gave it a 7. Matt was not very happy about it. And after I gave it that 7, I then looked at every single game and looked to see where that game is going, if it's exclusive, if it's just going everywhere, what's going on with these games. Let me rate this showcase properly, because I know others that I tend to not agree with would say something wildly disrespectful. So I'm not going to be wildly disrespectful, but I do need to actually be a little bit more honest and look into this stuff a little bit closer before I give, scores so quickly like I did last night. After I re-reviewed the show, went through each game to see which one's exclusive, which one's not. After the show was over with you guys yesterday, I went on Twitter as well, and of course people were posting what's actually coming to Xbox and stuff like that. And I was just like, man, I thought there was more exclusives in yesterday's show than what actually ended up being. Ended up only being 2 or 3 exclusives that were of any interest to me personally, right? 2 like 2 for sure, maybe 3, right? The remaster of Days Gone really irked me, because I'm just like, yo, you guys just said that you guys don't want to make this game anymore, and now you're making a remaster to a game that you told us that you don't want to spend any money towards in the future. So that, I mean that sounded bogus to me. That sounded like you're just giving us something, right? Shut up, take this, right? That's That's kind of what it felt like. And then I was looking at a game like Mind Eye. And I was like, man, that looks hot. The way the guy was talking about it, you would have thought it was exclusive. Right? Oh, man. And something that the PS5 Pro and blah, 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 blah. Like no shame. No shade if that's what you're rocking with at all. Right? I'm not throwing shade at all. It's just the way that guy was talking, I thought it was exclusive for a second. And then come to find out, yeah, it's on the PC and Series S and X as well. So it's like, okay. And then I was like, well, how about that like Tide of Annihilation game? How about that? That has to be exclusive, right? No, that game isn't exclusive either. And I was like, that looks like it's a PlayStation only game, but it wasn't. So my favorite games I was looking forward to that were there, and Borderlands as well, you know, a lot of those are third-party games. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's fine, right? But like the standard that everybody likes to go by is first-party games, right? Like that at least that was the standard at the beginning of the generation. I know the goalposts have moved a little bit now, but they started with first-party games only. At the beginning of this generation, that's what it was. Where's your first-party games? Where's your first-party games? Right? So yeah, the one that I thought was really nice that was that looked like it was first party, but it looks like it's coming to PC day one as well, which I thought was cool. Right? Finally, they got games coming to PC day one as well. Stop dragging your feet into that. So I'm pretty happy to have seen that. Like I think that's awesome. But let's move on from that right now because I got an awesome guest to have joined me just now. Okay. I got the guest here. All right. So let me go on ahead and get this all set up. There we go. Bam and bam. Awesome. I got you here. Can you hear me, brother? He's muted.
Hello, can you hear me?
There he is. There he is. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. I am on camera, but you can't see it because it's on the because I'm using OBS and it's popping through over there. So if you have the chance at all, hop on YouTube, go to TSWS Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Go to TSWS Gaming, and you should see the show live right now.
Okay, TSWS. There's no space in between, right?
No, there's a space in between TSWS and gaming.
Oh,
But
yes.
TSWS is all one word.
Yep, found it.
Perfect. So you
Nice.
should see me there, waving, looking goofy, with my pink shirt.
Oh,
Yes.
Yep.
I need to remember. I made the mistake last time, and I did the same thing today. I don't know why I did it, but I should have opened up my camera on Discord, because anytime I do that, anytime I try to do it after I open up OBS, it doesn't allow me to do it.
Got
So,
it.
yep, and I like I'm trying to do it right now, and it's just giving me the hourglass that never stops.
Yeah, loading. Yeah. I see it
Yes.
loading.
So I'm happy that you have this show up, so then you can at least see that, hey, I am on camera. I'm not being creepy. I'm not being creepy and asking you to do
There's
something that I wouldn't do.
There's a bit of lag where I can probably see you with a delay, but yeah, this is still better than not having a camera.
No doubt. How are you doing this morning, man? Like we have made a schedule before to come see each other, and now
And I'm sorry for missing that.
no. It's probably a little bit of you, but a little bit of me as well, because like I'm still getting used to dealing with people with different all these different time zones and stuff like that. Everybody has
Yeah,
different times and whatnot. And obviously if you working on the other side of the earth, you got a different, time that you need to wake up, get ready for work, get,
yeah.
stuff done. Maybe if I don't
Because
know if you have kids
when
or not, but you might have to put the kids down or whatever, right? You got stuff that you got to do. So I have to respect your time. And I hope you can respect mine. And you showed up here at the times I usually do my show. So I really respect that and I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
thank you, thank you. So when you say tomorrow, right? Sometimes it's usually today as well. So
Exactly. And that's
yeah,
the problem, man. Is like I say
yeah.
that kind of stuff, and then it's just like, I'm not sure if I mean today.
So when you said today, then I was like, okay, today. You said tonight, 8 p.m. So I was like, okay, tonight, 8 p.m. And that is tomorrow for you. And then it just gets, or tomorrow for me, it's just messed up like that.
Yep, it's an absolute mess. Um, but something that I definitely wanted to talk about because you are a game developer and I've definitely been checking out your game. You got so you work for Born Monkey, right? You're
Yep,
the
yep.
developer
I'm
over
the
there. Are you the owner?
Yeah, I'm the founder, one of the founders. Yes.
Nice. I see you got this game called Occult Chambers that you're working on to come out. So what I want to do first is I want to ask you well, I read it and talked to my, talk to the people that are here and told them a little bit about your game, but I want it to come out of your mouth. You're the creative here. You're the person putting this together. You got the gunks. You're excited for it and whatnot. Let's hear it out of your mouth. What do you have to say about Born Monkey, but also Occult Chambers that's going to be coming out?
So, Akal Chambers is a third-person action horror game. It's set in India. It has a lot of you know inspirations from Indian mythology. Uh, we get to explore the subculture of Indian mythology, that is Agori culture. You also have a lot of boss fights with mythical creatures that are inspired directly from the Indian mythology. So it's a nice untapped potential for an action or a genre where you've not seen a lot of games that have tapped into a mythology, let alone Indian mythology.
I literally said that earlier. I was like, I think I may have played one or two Indian games that I can remember.
Mhm.
There was one game, and I just can't remember the name. It drives me nuts. But there was a game. It was like it was a platformer game, really famous.
Yeah,
That
Raji,
came
I
back.
think you might have played
Raji,
Raji. Yeah,
thank you. It's Raji. Yes, that game
yeah,
was awesome. That game
yeah.
was
That's a
really
very good game.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I bet that's
Mhm.
that's a pretty popular game, you know of.
Yeah, yeah. So that is one of the breakout hits from India for sure. Like they've done a great job with that game. They were in, I mean, they started in 2017, the first game, and probably like, you know, did a great job with that game. It's very popular in India, and for people who are looking for Indian mythology based games, that is probably the first thing that pops up.
It is, and I mean, after watching your trailer, right? Because I watched the trailer to your game that you have up on Steam, and I was like, man, this looks like you put a lot of work into this. It looks like there's a lot of rendering going on over here. Like, tell me
Yep,
about like
yep.
the process. What is it like for you to go through all of that? Like, how many people do you even have in your crew, or is it just you?
So, we fluctuate, but usually we are around 8 people most of the time. So sometimes we grow based on, something else that's happening in the studio, but usually about 8 people is the average. We are an eight people team. I'm the lead programmer and also like the creative director of the project for Occult Chambers. And then we have the rest of the team where a bunch of artists, animators, and programmers, come together and make this game. So we're based out of India, Hyderabad, the south part of the India. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so tell me a little bit about like the come up with Born Monkey. Like, how did you think of the idea of the name of the studio? Did you always want to get into game development? Like, Like how did this whole business and you come up with this plan or idea?
So yeah, so I've been interested in entertainment in general from my childhood. So I initially got to find out that you can make animations using Flash when I was a kid. So that is when I got into Flash, and then I realized we could program in Flash using ActionScript. Then I started to pick up Flash and ActionScript and started to make these tiny platforming games. I was seventh standard, eighth standard back then, and that is how my interest, peaked. I started making these games just for myself. I was just trying to make these games, silly projects back then. But the interest, the hobby, kind of turned into like real passion as I was, digging deep. I myself play a lot of games, so that is just very natural for me to open the box and like tinker stuff. So I've from there, Unity came out. I tinkered with Unity. Unreal came out. I tinkered with Unreal, and then I made this tiny game called Shape It in my engineering, in the third year of my engineering. That is where the game did well. After like 8 months of its release, it got featured on the App Store.
Let's go.
Well, yeah, in one of the countries in Asia, China, I believe. And I got a flood of downloads, like 80,000 to like
Oh my
1 lakh.
gosh.
And then I
So that
realized,
kind of lets you know that you're moving in the right direction.
yep, yeah. So that was like my okay litmus test. What I'm making actually is resonating. I'm not just goofing around. This could be something that I can take seriously. I mean, I wanted to be in gaming, but that was a signal where it felt like okay, I could do this on my own. I could do this as a company or an indie studio or something like that. So that kicked off. That was 2017 before I founded the studio. The last year of my engineering where I had to decide if I had to go for a job or start my own thing, and I went with starting my own thing. So that is how I started the company. I registered it in my fourth year, end of fourth year, and first year itself we made a bunch of games. One game got a exclusive deal, and that is when things took off. Yeah.
That's an awesome little story right there, to be honest. I
Yeah.
actually have a question from somebody in the chat already, which is awesome. I'm happy that they're listening and they're engaged and they already have something that they're willing to ask. And I like to involve my community when they, show up and decide to ask questions and whatnot. And I always like to vet them first to make sure it's appropriate, so you're not answering something that you're like, dude, what the hell did you bring me on here for? But like, but anyways, the question right here is: will there be any familiar faces from the India mythology to expect? I am familiar with Shiva, the god of destruction.
Got it. So that's a great question, and I think Agori subculture is kind of the prime devotees of Lord Shiva. But the game itself doesn't bring actual gods into the picture. But this is the entire lore. Definitely is around celebrating them, and in their mighty stories or their powers and whatnot. So because Indian mythology in our country is a bit sensitive topic, so we tend to leave the actual gods, but still have their influence in the story, and be respectful and not hurt people. So we are very delicate about actually using real gods names, but you can tell that it's being used in a very respectful manner. It's being told in a very authentic way. But yeah, like a lot of Shiva's devotee, Shiva's architecture, like the temples of Shiva, a lot of sculptures and whatnot, you'll find traces of some familiar gods for sure. Since it's Agori culture, they are even more prominent in the game.
Yes, I like that. So essentially you're saying there will be traits of other gods within the game, sure, but out of respect to your own culture and whatnot, you will not be like trying to like put it into places that could lead to other people getting offended or feeling like,
Yeah,
hey,
like
hey, this doesn't belong. This is a video game. This shouldn't be here. But the thing is you'll have some sort of lore that will kind of reroute you
yeah,
back to who you expect this kind of stuff to be from.
exactly. Yeah, I think you put it in a very beautiful way where we're respectful of the gods, and we kind of hint at the fact that that is where things are going at, but we don't exactly use their names or like be very direct. So yeah.
No doubt. All right. Well, I have my own question just based off of that question because I'm good at piggybacking questions. I'm very good at that. So with
Awesome.
that being said, I want to know what made you choose horror for your game in particular.
Yep. So I've been a action horror fan
Oh, and by the way,
since
the
my
person that asked the
childhood.
question said he respects that answer.
Oh,
Continue.
thank you. I hope that was a good answer. So yeah, like horror has been like my one of my favorite genres. Like I used to play these weird horror games. I think one of the early games that I played that was very I don't know if it's it'll be scary today, but like I played the Mummy game and it was like ridiculously frightening when I was a kid. So there are a bunch of games that I've went back and played, and I've been a huge horror Resident Evil action horror fan. And when I wanted to do something, I thought this will be a very small project which I could do quickly if this was my first PC title. We've done a lot of games for mobile in the past, but if there was a game that I wanted to do first, then it should probably be a horror game, is what I've always thought of. I'm a huge action horror fan. Resident Evil 4, the remake also is pretty good. The old one was also great. So naturally I wanted to tap into the very scary parts of our own mythology. So I wanted to do an action horror game, yes, but also do something that is true to myself, and also something that I'm very familiar with, so that I could give you a very honest experience. For example, if I make a action horror game, I'm a guy from India. If I base it in Middle Earth, set in Europe, I might do a decent job at getting the world right. But if the team is from Europe, that would be a different story, right? So I feel like I can bring something new to the table and also do a very good job because it's my own thing, right? Like I could do my own thing and have a very unique identity to the project as well.
Absolutely, and I think that's very important today in gaming, especially, is to show off
Yeah.
your own personal identity. I mean, really, a lot of these platforms are pretty much screaming, "Hey, bring identity to the game," but at the same time, just remember to be respectful. A lot of people
Yep.
are just
Yeah, I think
really
yeah.
craving that right now, whether they want to admit to it or not. That is a craving that people like. Um, one thing that I did want to kind of throw out there and ask as well to like, so you said you're doing a horror and whatnot.
Mhm.
I want to know, was there any idea of ever doing like do you have any ideas of any other type like type of game, like, or is there going like with that horror, is there going to be action in your game? I guess is basically what I'm asking.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And what
yeah.
kind of
So
action would that be? Is that kind of gun based? Is it magical based? Like,
yeah.
are you
Yeah.
comfortable with talking about that first?
Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, all
Yeah, for sure.
right. I just I didn't want
I'll
to put
I'll
you
let
in
you
any
know
bad spot.
I'll let you know if some question is I'm very good at dodging if that is not the
Okay,
right
great, great,
question,
great,
so
great.
you don't have to worry about that.
All right,
So
good.
yeah, like if you look at the teaser which was released 2 years back, it clearly says action horror. That means the game is both action and horror. It's trying to like balance both of them. We don't want to have uh, these corridor horrors where you're moving from room to room and then you get a jump scare and then you have to figure out something. So that is probably like something that is works out for streamable games, but that was not something that I wanted personally to make. So this game has a very strong emphasis on action. You cast spells using this weapon that was created from an Agori's remains, bones and whatnot. So you cast these these spells which are occult powers in nature. And so it taps into all the occult side, ritualistic sides of the mythology. And the primary combat mechanics is melee. You get to whack people with the staff, which acts both as a a big axe and also as a magic staff. So same weapon, you can shoot spells. There's a very unique way you could cast heavy spells in this game. It almost feels like you are chaining these yourself, like you're saying words together, right? Just like that. So if you look at some of the footage, that's on my Twitter, you'll see that casting spells is very unique in this game and is kind of the core aspect or like core feature of the combat.
So okay, so that casting spells is the core part of the combat.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
would you mind if I asked you what engine that you're running this game on? Because it looks pretty striking the way you have it. And will the game mimic the way it looks in like the trailer
The
that you
teaser.
showed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So trailer has been like 2 years old. I think the game right now looks even better than the teaser for sure, because we've progressed a lot. Um, in terms of the game engine, we're using Unreal Engine 5.4. I know there's a lot of optimization, you know, um, hatred or like mostly disappointment around Unreal, but the game is
right.
running on Unreal Engine. And we have playtests every year. Every Halloween we have a playtest to make sure we are on the right track, to make sure that the game is you know resonating with our audience. So we have a community of about 600 to 700 people, and we do honest playtests where they can give us any kind of feedback. And an important aspect of that is the game running on their PCs, right? So that is one more thing that we do. We can record, great footage from our 3060s, 4060s, and the new cards, but it has to look like that on their PCs, right? So that is where we are constantly engaging with our community to make sure that um, we are delivering these graphics to as many GPUs as possible, as many PCs as possible. But yeah, like the game definitely looks great, considering that the art team does very very hard work in making sure that these kinds of visuals that are very centric to the story and the setting. So yeah, like I myself do the art direction. I take care of the art directing part of it, and the art team executes most of the assets, and putting together maps and whatnot, and the production and the rest of the team. But yeah, like in terms of what the footage is in the teaser, you might get um, at least 1 to 1 or even better, come considering your GPUs. But yeah, like um,
So hold on a
we
second.
yep.
Hold on a quick second. I want you to describe to me what the heck, like it'll pop up on your screen in a little bit when when the stream catches up. But I paused it on a part of the trailer, and I want you to tell me what
Mhm.
the hell that is.
Uh, you're talking about a creature that is coming at you, or
Yes, it looks kind of like a tiger-ish kind
yep.
of thing.
Yeah, so this is one of the mythical creatures that I told you are inspired from the mythology. So if you type Yali, on the internet, Yali Indian mythology, you'll see this Yali. This is a creature that is a hybrid between a lion and a lizard and an elephant, and it's just very very weird. But these are supposed to be like these mythical creatures that protect temples. So these creatures, you can find them in front of temples. And with this culture spread across Asia, you can
Okay,
see how.
Yali,
Yeah.
Yali, Yali.
Yep.
Got it.
So with this culture that spread across the continent, you can see the same. If you enter a Chinese temple, you can see two lions in front of the Chinese temple. So Yali became lion in China, and then in Japan also you have the same lions in front of the temples. So the same culture just trickled down across the continent, but the original creature, or like the mythical creature, was Yali. So this is our interpretation of, if Yali was real, how it would look. So so yeah,
That's wild
you get
because
to
I
you
mean, yeah,
get to
you look
fight.
at the legs right there, you see that like lizard like leg going on with that like
Yeah,
lion like
gold. Yeah.
face. Man,
It also
like
has a lot of gold on its body and whatnot. So it's a very interesting boss fight as well. Um, so yeah, like if you find some other footage, there is a five-headed snake as well, probably on the Steam page. It has like five heads. It's a five-headed snake that is also straight up inspired from Indian mythology. So there are a bunch of characters that are like pretty. It's going to be really fresh for people who are not familiar with the mythology and are going to have a
I'm
great
not
time.
familiar
Yeah,
with it. So like this is like kind of exciting to me, to be honest.
thank you.
And like just to be honest as well, like the way it looks is really clean and stuff like that. So
Yep.
it has me a little bit. I mean, sometimes like ultra realism isn't necessary exactly, but like I feel like personally, especially when I'm going into a new IP, it kind of
Hmm.
helps me appreciate it more. To be honest, something like
Yeah,
it's like a brand new TV show, right? When it says 8K HDR, I'm like, is this a good show? Let me check it out real quick
yeah,
because it
yeah,
looks pretty on my TV. You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yes. I mean that is, obviously we are not trying to compete with the AAA or the big guys, but um, the technology is here. We are one of the recipients of Epic Mega Grant, which is a grant program by Epic Games, the creators of Unreal Engine. So we've been recognized by them as well for the beautiful graphics and whatnot. So we have figured out a way to like bring these graphics without breaking our budgets in the first case, and also like somehow make it possible to run on these GPUs. So most of it is a lot of research on our end to just understand how Unreal works, right? So we made sure so this screenshot is from one of our latest playtests. So we are continuously making sure that we have a consistent art quality. That is one of the important challenges that we have. But regardless, I think we have figured out a way to like you know uh, create consistent graphics, which are also great for this generation, and still be possible to be done with a team size that we are.
So I want you to check out this photo now. That's on that's going to be showing up on the screen. You could probably kind of make it
Yep,
out.
yep. Yeah, I can see. Yeah. So
So
that is the
I'm
boss
assuming
arena.
I'm assuming that's the protagonist, right?
Yep, that is true. Yes. Yep.
Nice. All right. And I see that he has a staff in his hand. Is that what he's
Mhm. Yes.
casting everything from?
Yep. So that is a staff that is made with the remains of an agori. So this is a ritualistic weapon. You can cast, occult magic through this staff, and through is a regular person is just trying to find his father, and he gets to, he has to survive this world where magic is real and is also dangerous, while he's on the trail to find his father. So he picks up the stuff. He picks up a
It's
lot
like
of stuff
Uncharted. It looks
with
like
belongings.
Uncharted to me. It looks like Uncharted, but for but in your culture. And
Yep. Yeah.
and but you also have like the magic, which is not like that's not Uncharted, right? Uncharted is
Yeah.
boom
Yeah.
boom
Nothing. Yeah.
bang guns and everything, right? You got
Yep.
the so you got like the look of Uncharted, which is amazing. But then you
Thank
have
you.
your own kind of swag with it as well, with the staff and the magic and stuff like that. Like I'm liking what you're cooking right now, bro. I'm really liking what I'm seeing.
Great to
And
hear.
as a matter of fact, let me take it a little bit of a step further. And I'm not trying to just overhype you or anything like that. I'm literally excited about what I'm seeing. That was the reason I hit you up in the first place. I actually think I hit you up because you were also working on some other game as well. Right? It was like a sword game, I think, that you had something going on. I want to say, but maybe you were just retweeting it from somebody else.
Maybe I was just probably retweeting.
Or maybe you're. I don't know. But all I know is what I'm seeing right here is nice. And a matter of fact, somebody in the chat, yo, Voidlock, I'll get to you in just a moment because he's like, yo, what game is this? But Ray Chi in the chat said, tired of Vikings, Egyptians, Japanese stuff. So glad developers are going after other cultures and folklore. So like I said, man, like it's not only is it nice that you're going after something that hasn't been overly done, but it's also your culture. So nobody can tell you, hey, y'all are from Europe. Stop it. like you don't know what you're talking about. Like the whole like argument and stuff. Like I'm not trying to hate or diss or bring up anything to stir anything up right now. But like the thing going on with Assassin's Creed right now. They're clearly a lot of developers from, obviously they got, Ubisoft Japan and stuff like that. But like a lot of people are known for them being in like France. From France and stuff like that. So like to hear you're in Japan kind of, hits people the wrong way sometimes, right? It's a little hard to take you serious. Like you're not talking about the French, you're talking about a different culture, right? But you're here making a game for your own culture. So then it makes more sense. And we feel that it's, us as consumers can just feel the authenticity. We can kind of smell, I'm not trying to throw us off, but we can smell bullshit sometimes.
I mean, that is for sure. Like video gamers in general are like very good at, smelling BS for sure.
Yes.
And if something is not right, they are the first ones to point out, and they've consistently been right for the past 5 years, whatever games were released. They've been consistently being able to call out that something is not right with certain games.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
I'm sorry, Voidlock, just to answer your question, because I know that you're wondering, and this man eventually is trying to sell this game. This game right here is Occult Chambers, right here. But please, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go on ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you to the guy from chat who said it was nice to see a game from Indian mythology. So it's nice to hear that people are excited about it, because sometimes we are in this bubble and we think this will work out, but also there are other factors where we think maybe nobody's going to play this game. It's not exciting for other people. But to hear people see excited about other mythologies is kind of reassuring for us, for sure.
So my next question, and keep in mind, chat, if you guys have questions, please don't be afraid to ask. This isn't a 50 questions from Ham solo interview right here. If you guys have questions and you're interested and you see what's going on, you see the clips, you see the trailers and stuff like that, and you're like, this is kind of interesting, I want to know about this particular or something like that. Like Faded Blaze asked an awesome question earlier about asking about like the gods and stuff like that being in the game, which he came through and clearly answered and put any kind of thoughts to rest on that one. So if you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I'll check out the question, and if it looks good, I'll ask him. I ain't afraid to ask him any questions as long as it's appropriate. But my next question to you is, and I know we gotta kind of keep it tight. I probably want to keep you, if you have time, for another like 15 minutes at least.
Yes.
Okay. 15, 20 minutes max. But I also got to take my daughter to school, so either way, I got to let you go. But not quite yet. Not quite yet. So I gotta ask you, what made you go for the old? Because like I told you, I like that you went for the ultra realism, especially in the position that you're in. Right, being an indie game developer, going for the ultra realism is gutsy, and it also
Mhm.
kind of kind of bucks at the AAA people a little bit, just bucks at them a little bit, just letting them know, hey, we ain't no punks down here either. All right, we good, we strong down here. We doing major things. So all
Yep.
right. So I got to ask you, why did you go for ultra realism compared to the many other forms of creating video games, that being cell shade and yada yada?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
went for ultra realism and kind of it may be linear. I'm not sure if it is. I didn't ask you that quite
It's a
yet.
linear. It's a linear.
You said it is linear?
Yeah, I mean, I've not mentioned it yet, but like it's a linear narrative game, so it's chapter based. It has about 7 chapters. So um, yep.
Yeah, but what made you go for ultra realism versus like cell shade and all these other options? Because I'm sure you were like flooded with options, and you were just like, I
Mm.
want I want to go for the hard one.
Yep. So to put it in context, we've been around for about 7 years now as a studio, and we made in the beginning of the studio we made about 25 plus games, which were all at least 5 6 of them were like top grossing on their platforms, whichever platforms we licensed to. And we've been very fortunate to have good hits on mobile, but these were the games that we made to just survive in the market, rather than be proud of. The reason I started the studio was to at someday be one of the big boys for sure, but I also wanted to gradually build up to it. So the 5th year of the studio is where we've decided to collectively, at least it might not be today, but 5 years down the line, I would like to be as at least a triple a double A studio, or at least be
Mm.
capable of making something that looks like a double A game. So
So you
we've
want to keep
started to
growing?
like do all our yeah, we've started to like do all our research from like 2019 during the COVID 2020. So we had a lot of choices. We were very good with Unity. We were very good with Unreal. We've seen that mega scans are something that Biohazard, Resident Evil Biohazard has used, made it in a very little budget, even though they have massive budget, but within the context of their budgets, they made it in a very little cost. We started looking at mega scans. We started looking at photogrammetry, which is snapping photos of an object, and they become you put it through a processor software to like turn them into 3D models. So we've explored all these options, and we realized, okay, our game is an Indian mythology game. There are a lot of real locations where we could go and take permissions and get these 3D scans of these sculptures, and then they become the assets of the game. And then we could mix and match with the rest of the assets that we make in house, and we should probably be able to deliver a very good photoreal experience without starting from scratch. So there was a lot of these R&Ds pipelines. Then we've reached a conclusion. We made a working prototype. We showed it to Epic Games. Epic Games liked what we were doing as a very small team. And then in 2023 we got the Epic Mega Grant to kind of validate that we are a serious project. So to put it in context, it was not about you know challenging the big guys or something like that. It was all about, okay, we have an option to do what we actually wanted to do, make these games that we usually play, something that is similar in terms of quality, something that we could pull off, is well within our reach. When we were able to like decipher that this is possible, we went ahead and like made a prototype, and then it started to snowball into a complete game.
Man, I mean this is a good. This looks really cool. Like I'm looking at this with like got the fire going on with the little like the statue pillar on the side. It looks like you're obviously like in a old like maybe
Yeah, that is a
underground
fort.
or like
Yeah, that is a
overgrown
fort.
temple
Yeah.
or something like that. Like it like it looks like it's been abandoned for quite some time.
Yes.
It,
Yeah.
like the whole picture tells a story. alone by itself,
Yeah,
and to see that this is coming out of a team of, what did you say, 6?
7 to 8 people. Yep, yeah.
That's that's impressive. And that's definitely
Thank you.
something that you should definitely be proud of, man. Rachie in the chat with another dope comment says, chapters is the good choice. 7 chapters.
Thank you.
I can finish this game in a week and enjoy a chapter a day.
Yeah, that sounds great. So the reason it's chapters is so that we can finish making the game as well. So that works out well for both, you and me.
Okay, so I gotta ask then as well. So obviously you chose this style and everything like that. But you told me earlier that you decided to move from mobile games to PC games, and then I looked on your page and this game says that it's gonna be good for PC, Xbox Series consoles, and PlayStation. I'm assuming you must have got approved for all of those already,
Yep.
to apply certification whenever you're ready for those. But I gotta ask, why would you? Because a lot of people, and including a lot of the people that are here listening and stuff like that right now, we all heard many of times how the gaming market is growing, especially with mobile, right? So why would somebody like you go from making mobile games to now making games for platforms when a lot of people are thinking the money's in the mobile? Like, where was your head at with that whole ideal or plan, or is that a myth?
So definitely, if you look at just the pie chart of how many gamers are there, mobile is going to dominate for sure. But what I eventually believe is going to happen in the next 10 years is even mobile is going to demand the same kind of experience that PC and console has. So we'd rather
that's a
be
great
there
way to think.
and then trickle down rather than trying to impress the mobile audience and then miss out on the entire PC console space.
God damn, this dude's smart. that's pretty good. That's a pretty good one right there, because I don't think a lot of us have thought of that. Like I think we have kind of had some sort of idea of playing a AAA game on our phone, right? Like even this generation, Apple came out with Resident Evil 4 on their on their iPhone for Apple iOS, right? So so we're seeing more and more today. It's possible. Hell, it's funny that we say, oh, it's possible today, but honestly, it's been possible for freaking years. We just haven't been really taking advantage and doing it. Hell, I was emulating Mario 64 on my cell phone back in 2011. So you can do that now, but is it accessible? Is it legal? No. It's there's a lot of obstacles that you have to jump through, and I kind of like that you're saying, hey, I know that there's a huge market in mobile, but I can literally tackle all the markets at once. Eventually, I think that I'll be attacking, because you said these games will eventually be on mobile devices to be able to play. You're expecting in the future these games to be to have that type of access to be able to play anywhere. So I got to ask you then, in a particular platform, you see the way Xbox is kind of moving right now, where they want to kind of have you playing anywhere. Their recent commercials was, this is an Xbox, and people are like, what the hell? That's a PlayStation. That's not an Xbox. That's a PlayStation. That's a computer. That's a cell phone. That's a tablet. But they're like, no, those aren't that. Those are Xboxes as well. So I got to ask somebody like you, how do you feel seeing that, and how would you feel if Microsoft were to approach you and be like, hey, we want to, not only do we want your game, but we want it play anywhere. So then they purchase it on an Xbox platform, but they can play it on their
Mm-hmm.
PC, they can play it on their mobile phone, and they can play it on their actual like standalone console. Would somebody like you be okay with that, knowing that that's transferring into 3 different ecosystems with one purchase?
Yeah. So as a gamer myself, I think that is a great way to look at player choice. You right now are buying a game. Let's say GTA 6 comes out this year, you buy it on console first because it's not on PC, and then few years later when it drops on PC, maybe you want to play it on PC, you have to buy it again. So I see how it's not you know in line with what gamers want. So when Xbox says play everywhere, I feel is a very good concept, which is very pro consumer, which
It is.
shouldn't hurt us in the long run, because now you could continue your game. Probably you're playing it for a few hours, then you're going on vacation, you could play it in the airport, on the flight, you continue your game, get back home, and continue back. So that, I think, that is the future of gaming, and we should be in support for it rather than stand you know stand um against it, or stop making that happen. So
So
uh
you're
player
behind an
choice.
ideal like something like that, because I'm not sure how people that make this stuff feel about hearing, hey, they purchase it once, they have multiple different ways to play, compared to you being like, hey, I want you to purchase it 3 different times on 3 different platforms if possible, so I can get as much money as out of you as possible. I like I don't know. I'm sure there are people out there that think that way, but like I wasn't sure
Yeah,
like
yeah.
how you felt, and I kind of wanted to see if any developers at all thought that that was even an okay idea.
No, I think like a majority of the people that I know and talk to are pretty looking forward to the idea that play everywhere is being even a thing right now. We never thought this was even some platform would back. I'm not supporting Xbox in any ways, but kudos to them for even thinking of something like that. uh, you know um, Supporting backward compatibility is another thing, but buying a game on, let's say, um, PS5, and then it runs on PS5, or it runs on PlayStation's launcher on the PC. Imagine that.
That
That
would be
would that
amazing.
would yeah, that would just change how exclusives are, and that would mean I would play PlayStation games, but regardless of the console or PC. So I feel like, as a developer, yes, I might lose on some sales, but it also is creating a very cohesive experience that will build and probably invite more users, rather than milking just users that are already paying for it.
All right, and now I got to ask, since you're a smaller team, what is it like making a game for multiple different platforms, right? Is
Mhm.
how do you choose what goes first? How do you choose or like okay, so let me rephrase that. How do you choose what goes first, but then also which one is like, I shouldn't ask hardest, but which one is is there a harder one than the other? Is it only
Yeah, there is one.
how does this
You
go?
There is one, and then probably I think which one it is, but
Yeah, the Series S.
um, yes, yes, Series S is like our low end hardware that we target, um, which kind of works out, because if we are able to run the game on Series S with the kind of visuals that we have, then it runs on most of the GPUs that are 1060 or above, right? Like, I think 1060 would be still weaker compared to Series S in some capacity, but Series S is like our low end that we target. So we have a low end target and a high end target. So low end target is Series S, and high end target is PS5, and anything above that, that is your 3060s or 3080s, 40 series graphic cards, they should be totally fine with it. So we have to min and max, and whenever we have a chapter that we think is feature complete, we do a port and check on both both low end and high end. And sometimes we have to make different quality assets for S, and sometimes different quality assets for S, and sometimes it just magically works out if you're lucky. So um, there's a bit of back and forth for sure, but we usually do it in a 3-month cycle. Every 3 months, if there is a significant build, we test it on these consoles.
Okay. I mean, that's interesting. So
I mean,
what I'm
that is not
assuming
how
is the
the
Series S
gameplay
is
would
the
run. Yeah.
so what I'm assuming is the Series S is obviously the low end one.
Yep.
The PS5 Series X I'm assuming are like the same.
Same, almost. I think
Like
spec wise, Series X slightly has an edge, but it's just not something you would notice.
yeah, right. So it's pretty much the same, right? You
Yep.
when you develop for it, it's like you're developing for those two at once, right?
Yep. Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, getting it ready for those two at once. Now, I want to know about the PC real quick. Is developing for the PC harder than all of them, or is that just something that developers are like nervous with because of modders, or like what's like the whole like from your perspective, what's the whole kind of like I don't know. It seems like sometimes people or certain devs don't
Ignoring
want to
pieces.
release on PC first. They want to release it on console first, and then they come to PC later. Why is that?
So this has like a lot of behind the scenes discussions, which might be which might be interesting, which you might be aware of. So first is uh, you know one of the major problems is the variety in hardware has exponentially increased compared to few years back, like 2010s. Before 2010, things were you know things people still made, they had varied hardware, but it was not as bad as it is now. So the amount of variation in hardware, where the RAMs speeds, and the CPU clocks, and the way the PC is set up, so there is a lot of variation and a lot of noise created in the PC space, and that has increased the cost of QA, quality, and quality analysis, and basically testing cost has risen up. uh, that is one issue. But usually if devs cared enough, if they cared enough, that would still be possible. For example, I think BG3 did a decent job at you know um, being in early access for about 2 years to make sure everybody has decent performance on launch day. So the variation in devices, the varied devices, that kind of raises the cost for testing.
Right.
So that is one reason. The other
Dang,
is
like a simpleton like me that wouldn't even think of that, right? Like, man, you got to have different type of rigs to know if this is even
yep.
capable for like. So obviously you'd have a low end rig, but sometimes then you'd have to put it together with all low end stuff and make sure and see if it even works on there. And then you're like, and then if it
And
doesn't
not
work
just
on there,
one.
then it's like, oh wow, I wasted a bunch of money on all this stuff. It doesn't even work.
Yeah, so it's usually not just one PC, right? So we have to test it with same specs but different hardware, you know,
Right.
like, and then that is itself costly. And then we have to move different tires of PCs. Like one is a 10 series, one is a 20 series, one is a 30 series, one is a 40 series. You can see how varied just those different tiers get, and then you have AMD. So you can see how varied, and then Intel is jumping on the
Right.
on GPU.
And then you got
So
all
it's
these
it's a
different upscalers as well with
yep.
all of them. Oh
One
man,
guy
that's
is
a
cooling
lot.
it with liquid cooling. One guy is and has one guy just has a regular fan that came with the CPU. That is going to mess up. So there's a
And you're
lot
like,
of
oh, it's getting
variables,
hot.
but yeah. So that is one concern, obviously. But still, if you put in enough money, you could have a decent amount of QA to make sure all of it is covered. The second problem, which I don't think we can blame anyone for it, but it's just that Steam has created an environment where it encourages people to buy games if it's on sale. I'm not sure this is the same for everyone, but the data that we get when developers see it, it has always been sales. When the game is on sale, it makes a lot of money, but on its launch day, if it's not on sale, then it doesn't get a lot of money. And then but these PlayStation and Xbox seems to not care about sales. They just buy games for full price, and usually they're fine with buying premium games. So there is a mentality of user base which wouldn't matter to devs like us, but if it's a corporate suit looking at it, they'll be like, yeah, pick console first because these are more important to us. So it's just the way market works. But Steam is Steam, right? The volume of it is not comparable to the other platforms, but still, and the price at which these people buy is very different. So that is one more consideration. And these big guys, when they launch on PlayStation or Xbox, they are not paying the same 30% cut that maybe we would be end up paying when we launch our game. So they'll have internal deals as well. So that kind of is one of the reasons why they would prefer consoles.
That makes a ton
I
more
hope that,
sense.
yeah.
I really appreciate you dropping that knowledge right there. That definitely helped me understand quite a bit more of what's kind of going on in the background, why certain things take a little bit longer, how QA even works a little bit, right? Because they're not just like testing it on just one rig; they're testing on a bunch of different type of rigs. Some
Yeah.
are janky
We have
rigs, some
devs
are
who would
great
we have
rigs.
devs who would say it's working on my PC. I don't care about other PCs. That's not how QA works. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's definitely an interesting like inside peek at this. But we got about 5 minutes left. I got one more question from Ray Chi that he wants answered, and and then I'm pretty much gonna start kind of setting this up for the outro and whatnot, and whatever. But Ray Chi was asking, ray tracing DLSS frame generation. You are doing photorealistic game. How would a GTX 1060 affect the graphics?
Got it. So that's a very good question. Where so to put it in context, right? Like, yes, this is a photoreal game, but there are a lot of parameters that are very much in our control. Like, the time of the day, the lighting is pretty set in stone. That doesn't change. It doesn't have cycles and whatnot. So reflections could be captured, pre-captured, cached. Lighting could be cached. We don't need ray tracing. We could just catch the lighting, and you would still have the same performance. You'd still have the same look, but the performance is just much better because we don't have to deal with ray tracing. So there are techniques where old school techniques that we use because the game is pretty linear. We don't have to use the latest shiny stuff to like create the illusion of photoreal graphics. The problem comes when you are making a very dynamic game where things have to react dynamically, like lighting, global illumination, reflections. So
Like the
in
light
that sense,
moves when you
we
move and stuff like that.
yeah, exactly. So we still have dynamic light in the game, but it's not using ray tracing per se. So we play with our strengths where how much can we get with old school techniques without bulking up the GPU usage. So max bang for the buck, and then we decide, okay, a performance, a quality mode. In quality, maybe we might support all these features, but the base would still have great performance. And we believe this is an action horror game, and we believe the game needs to be at least support 20 series or 10 series when the game launches. So that keeping that in mind, we have a lot of parameters in there.
So you're planning on being playable on like a 10 series card?
Yeah, that is the goal.
That's the
But
goal. Okay.
yep.
Yeah, that
You never
doesn't
know.
mean it will happen for sure, but that's the goal.
Yeah,
That's what he wants, but he may
that's
have
the
to
optimistic
apologize in
goal.
the
Yeah,
future.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
because Raichi was
right
saying
now it
that
runs. Right now the game runs on 1060, but we don't know if it'll run on launch.
Right, because yeah, he says Nvidia dropped support on the GTX 10 and
10 and
16
16.
series.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, you already, of course, you already know that because you got to deal with it all the time, right? And
Yeah.
so yeah, he was wondering if he needed to upgrade or not. And let's move bro right out the picture for a minute. I'm gonna tell you, Rachie, you need to upgrade. Go upgrade. Dude, go upgrade. Just get the cheapest ray tracing card that you can find. Just get that and just call it a
Yeah.
day. Just get that
Yeah.
and call it a day. Like, I understand the 10 series cards are great, but there are a lot of games that require ray tracing now that are going to be starting to roll out. And I ain't going to be able to interview everybody for you.
Yeah. So um, since the series S is as equivalent to a 10 series card, 1060 and above, we likely would support. But if Nvidia drops the ball when the game is launched, there's little we could do. It might run, it might not run. It's not in our hands.
He said his 1070 Ti
1070
needs to
Ti
go.
needs to go. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, man. This has been a fantastic episode. Would you rather me call you VK or Sam Heath?
Samhith would be great. Yeah.
Okay, so Sam Heath, brother, thank you so much for coming
for
on
having me.
today's show. I learned a ton. I promise you, the next time I'm on here, you'll be able to see my face live
Yeah.
on
Instead
the
of me.
Discord again. We'll be able to look at each other live instead of you having to
Yeah.
wait for me to pop through on the stream to see my actual in-time reaction. But I
No
really
worries.
hope to have you back here again closer to like the launch so we could talk more about your game, or even after launch if you end up being too busy. That's totally fine. But I definitely like
Yeah,
to
I
have
mean,
you back here to talk about the game.
I would love to, before launch, probably like few months before, I would love to send you a key and, probably stream for your audience. That would be nice.
Oh, man, I would be more than happy to do that. And if you need me to
Yeah.
stream it, I could stream it for the people for like the week and just like play it every day.
Yeah, that'd be
And
great. Yeah.
just to get more eyes on it, because I know people will ask me about it. They were already asking about it as I was showing the preview and having you here and stuff like that. But showing it throughout the week would definitely get a lot more eyes on it. Man, I really appreciated that. I also joined your Discord as well for just to kind of keep up to date with what you guys got going on and whatnot. You guys are awesome though, and you're an awesome brother as well. Very insightful,
Thank you.
very very good person. And I hope to meet more people like you, brother. And if you have anybody that
Thank
you
you.
think that would be good to talk to, holla at me, forward me to them, even if it's somebody within your team or something that you just feel like, hey, you should get out here and talk some more about this game and talk about the stuff that you did in it and stuff like that. I'd be more than happy to talk to them. So just send them my way. But anyways,
Sure.
please, brother, let everybody know where they can find you, what to expect that you have coming. Are you going to any showcases, yada yada? Just go on ahead and say whatever you feel necessary, and let's go on ahead and get out of here.
Yeah, so obviously, wishlist Akal Chambers on Steam. That will be great. And if you want updates, constant updates, you could follow me on Twitter at V K Samhith.
It's in the description below.
Thank you.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Just wishlist Akal Chambers.
Okay. I'm really good at interrupting people, so I didn't even notice you were done. I felt like I was just interrupting you. Anyways, you guys check out the description below. That's where you'll see his information. I have the website posted that will take you straight to Born Monkey. I got I got his Twitter @ in there. Whatever you need that he was happy to show on Twitter, I put it into the link below in the description, so you guys could holler at him, check out his stuff. If you wanted to join his Discord, it's right at the main page of his website. It's right at the top. It asks you if you want to join right then and there. But yeah, check out this stuff. It's a good looking game. Photorealism is looking great. It's part of his culture. You guys definitely get out there, give this man some support. The game's not out yet, so just keep your eye out for it, and I will be talking about it as it gets closer to release date. But anyways, you guys, this is your boy Ham Solo signing out from TSWS Gaming. It's been a great show today. I will see you guys tomorrow for another episode. As you guys know, I stream Monday through Friday. So tomorrow is Friday. I'm extremely excited to get rid of y'all. No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see y'all tomorrow for 2 shows. We got the morning show and we got the evening show with the crew and the panel and whatnot. So it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good week. There's a lot to talk about. But y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. It's your boy Ham Solo signing out from TSWS Gaming, letting you know to keep it gaming or keep it moving. Peace out.
They said we said they said we said they said we said they said we said we said that you